welcome to week one of FPL action. I'm Charlie. I'm the coach of the Toxboxers. I'm here with Cameron, who is the team captain of the Die Guys.
Hey guys.
And yeah, we're here to get into week one of FPL battles. The first matchup we have is between the Master Blasters and Team Rocket. And there's a couple interesting storylines here. First of all, this is Ryan's first FPL battle ever.
Yep. Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, we've seen a lot of growth in the league recently, a lot of new players, and that's got me excited with some of the recent performances for the new additions that Ryan could be, a pretty good contender here.
Yeah, I know I've been coaching Ryan. I worked on team building with him before the draft, and I'm excited to see how he does this season.
Yep.
I think he's got a really cool team. It reminds me of a better version of RNGesus's season 2 team, which was not great, but this team is definitely better than that one.
Right.
But yeah, this is also another interesting thing about this matchup is this is Caitlin's first battle not using a rain team in like 2 seasons, I think.
Yes. Yeah, she's a little out of her element. We're not actually seeing any water types on this team, which is a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, especially because last season that was like 9 of her 12 Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even had to go Isopod on a rain team. We were really doubling down on that water typing. But
oh yeah,
here we see what I think is a pretty good core actually, with the Clefable and Latias are going to be able to kind of pivot off of each other, cover for each other's weaknesses. And if she plays with those two well, you could see a lot of trouble coming Ryan's way.
Especially with a potential Wish Passer set on that Clefable. That could,
Right.
Play really well with the bulkier Pokemon on this team, like Latias and Torterra. Especially because Ryan doesn't... I mean, he's probably carrying Ice Beam on that Tentacruel, but outside of that, I don't know if he has a ton of coverage that's going to be able to deal with that Torterra. But anyway... Yeah, another interesting matchup could be this Regieleki into Ryan's team, because if this Flygon goes down, all of a sudden, I don't know if Ryan has much that's going to stand up to this Regieleki.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see, a lot of special bulk on Ryan's team, and the special bulk we do have is going to get completely destroyed by that Regieleki. So,
The only
if we lose that immunity, it's hard.
Yeah, the only saving grace he may have if that Flygon goes down is potentially Jirachi, but even then, Jirachi's not the most potent offensive Pokemon in the world, so we'll see if that ends up being a key matchup.
Yeah, it would be a question of the coverage for that Jirachi on whether or not it can actually threaten the Regieleki back. But actually, going to, another Pokemon, you brought this up a bit before the match, but Wheezing Galar actually has a bit of an interesting matchup. Why don't you elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, Kaylin's team has 2 really potent physical wall breakers in Heracross and Marowak. And like we were talking about with maybe a potential lack of special bulk into Regieleki, this Wheezing is pretty much Ryan's only physical bulk into those 2 strong wall breakers. Now, it does play into Heracross really nicely. The only thing that Heracross really can hit it with is a potential Guts-boosted Facade.
Yep.
But the Marowak is going to be a key matchup here, because if that Marowak can get through Wheezing, all of a sudden, this Heracross kind of is unchecked. And if we see maybe like a Scarf Moxie set on it, it could tear through Ryan's team.
Absolutely.
Pretty quickly. But speaking of Marowak, a great counter that Ryan does have to this Marowak is actually Crawdon. I remember I helped Ryan partially build this team for this week, and a lot of on pretty much, anytime Crawdon was brought up, I was just talking about how good of a threat it is into Marowak, because this Marowak just cannot touch it. Crawdon resists both stabs, it's faster, it OHKOs Marowak with, pretty much any move it carries. It's such a great counter into this Marowak, so we'll see maybe if that's how he checks it instead of Wheezing.
Yep. That I mean, like you said, that it's just a great way of checking it, and I think if we see Marowak come out, we're pretty much going to see a hard Crawdon switch anytime that Pokemon is out.
Absolutely. That's what I would do, at least. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the battle.
Gotta get the Juleses out in the chat.
The Jules is in the chat, yeah. So right off the bat, we see a really unfortunate matchup into this Regieleki, but that hard switch into Flygon is exactly what Ryan needed to do
Go
there.
for an electric type move. I don't know if I would have done that. I think I actually would have pivoted right into this Clefable expecting a Flygon switch, but yeah, we do manage to take an Earthquake pretty well there. Are we going to be seeing a Soft Boiled here, perhaps? Or a Moonblast?
Yeah, no prediction on that Flygon switch for Caitlyn. Also, I don't know if Thunder Cage is the move I would have taken on Regieleki, but you don't really have many other options. Now, that Thunder Wave is an unfortunate miss, but the Marowak...
If that was Lightning Rod, though, it might not have mattered too much, since that is one of the abilities people take on that Marowak.
That is true. I'm personally a Rockhead fan, but Lightning Rod is a completely viable ability, and what a monstrous Crab Hammer there.
Brutal. And, I mean, if you told me Torterra was a tank, after seeing that, I don't know if I'd believe you.
And Crawdon...
That is not even super effective.
No, Crawdon just immediately picks up a kill there. And hard
we're going to see another hard Flygon switch here.
Straight into Flygon, tanks the Thunder Cage again. Yeah.
And if Caitlyn doesn't start reading these Flygon switches, I mean, we might see some pretty bad punishment coming out of this Flygon. I mean, it does have great coverage into the rest of her team.
Now, that's interesting. This is a bulkier Latias set, apparently. But neither Dragonclaw is able to OHKO the other. So,
and we don't see the Clefable switch to pick up that last Dragonclaw, so Ryan does manage to pick up a kill there.
Yeah, now Ryan's going to have... That's a great switch. He's going to have to keep that Flygon alive just to check this Regieleki.
And now I'm curious if we see a Fire Blast from Clefable here, or if we don't have coverage to touch this Jirachi. It could be a pretty bad matchup.
Well, it doesn't matter either way, because that 60% flinch chance on Serene Grace picked up a great flinch right there.
Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, she just has to sack it at that point. I don't know what else you can do there.
And
maybe
at this point, I mean, Team Rocket's down 3 Mons, and Ryan's still at a full 6, so
now
this is looking brutal.
It's not, and we see special Marowak. Now, this is what we like to call a Caitlyn set, which is a set that doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense, but it's really fun to see either way. Shadow Bone, I don't really know what that move does, to be honest.
You know, it does something.
Yeah.
Clearly not a lot, but you know, it serves a purpose, and I think we're gonna see another kill here. Don't know why we don't go into the Heracross there to try to pick up at least 1 kill, but we do go into it. We're gonna see Ryan just sacks Crawdon. I think that's a good play. Don't really risk you know, making a bad prediction or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Low Punny's just gonna pick up this with a fake out.
Yep. Now I wouldn't mind seeing a switch out right here, but yeah, close combat's just gonna do it. If that Heracross is scarfed, it might give the Master Blasters a couple problems, especially you know, with
for sure
with the specially defensive Tentacruel, but Weezy can probably be able to take care of it anyway.
Yep. And with that, I mean, very dominant performance from Ryan. I mean, we didn't see from Team Rocket any predictions on those Flygon switches, so weren't able to eliminate the ground type threat, and I mean, that pretty much sealed the battle.
Yeah, Flygon was able to put in a lot of work that battle. Ryan read that Regieleki pretty much perfectly every single time. And yeah, he earned his first win ever in the Five Guys Pokemon League. So
yep, first battle, first win.
Yeah, starting off on a 5-0 victory, which is really impressive. You don't see a lot of 5-0s and 6-0s in this league.